The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus got into a boat, and his disciples followed him. A windstorm arose on the sea, so great that the boat was being swamped by the waves, but he was asleep. And they went and woke him up, saying, "Lord, save us, we are perishing." And Jesus said to them, "Why are you afraid, you little faith?" Then he got up and rebuked the wind and the sea, and there was a dead calm. The disciples were amazed, saying, "What sort of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him?" The Gospel of the Lord. Today we read from Matthew chapter 8. It's a very important chapter together with chapter 9 because in those two chapters there are 10 miracle stories. And they cover the whole gamut of miracles such as the cleansing of the leper, healing of the centurion's servant, Peter's mother-in-law being healed. There's various exorcisms. Jesus raises Jairus' daughter from the dead. So why all these healings and miracles all grouped together? Well, for a couple of reasons. One, Jesus has just taught the Sermon on the Mount. This is the core central teaching of the New Covenant. And so he has now combined that teaching with these great miracles because he wants the people to understand that this is not just another rabbi, this is God himself teaching. So they are to take the teaching and incorporate it into their lives. There's another reason, and that is that Jesus is on his way to the Gadarenes, a territory of pagans. This is going to be a preview of the church's mission to the Gentiles. So when you look at that reading, Jesus doesn't just calm the storm, he rebukes the storm. It's a term of exorcism. Why? The scholars believe that demons have stirred up the waves and the storm to prevent Jesus and the disciples to cross over into their territory because they have dominance in their territory. They don't want any interference. But Jesus has come to deliver everyone, including these Gentiles. So he rebukes the storm. There's also parallels here with the book of Jonah in the Old Testament, these two stories about the storm, because in the book of Jonah, we have the storm calmed, as here. Both Jesus and Jonah are asleep in the boat. The sailors in both boats are terrified. Both groups call upon the name of the Lord for help. And both groups are amazed at the outcome of Jesus' authority. So Jesus is the new Jonah. Just as Jonah was 3 days and nights in the belly of the whale, Jesus will be 3 days and nights in the tomb. And just as Jonah was raised from the dead, Jesus will be as well. Jonah is a precursor of Jesus, even though Jonah was very imperfect in his obviously obeying God. Jesus will have perfect obedience to his Father. There's also similarities to the book of Exodus, where there's lots of miracles as Israel is being freed from captivity in Egypt. The 10 plagues are all miracles. And that's what chapters 10 and 11 are reminding the people of, that Jesus is the new Moses. And he is, in fact, God himself. Finally, the church fathers always saw in the boat a symbol of the church, the people of God. We have lots of storms in our lives, and the message of this gospel is that Jesus is with us. He's in the church. He's in our soul. We only need to appeal to him, and he is there to calm our fears and to protect us from spiritual death. So Jesus has come into our lives through the church, through the sacraments, especially the Eucharist. We thank God for his power over all the elements of creation, and we appropriate the teaching on the Sermon on the Mount so that we have no cause for distress or fear. Jesus is the Lord. Jesus has come to save us and to be present to us in our fears and to bring us into the joy of everlasting life.